Hey everybody, my name is Aisha. I am part of the early team at the pioneering NFT platform called MakersPlace. MakersPlace is the premier NFT marketplace for rare digital art. So through my role as community manager, I I aim to excite and ignite the NFT community through identifying and addressing potential roadblocks to adoption, organizing community events and exhibitions, interviews, etc., and cultivating and supporting creativity within the digital art space in whatever way that I can. So, through my work at Maker's Place, I hope to help bridge the gap that exists between traditional fine art spaces, technology, and the blossoming NFT movement as a whole, as a way of empowering digital creativity for all. So, really quickly, for those of you guys who aren't familiar with Maker's Place is a platform and online community for buying, selling, and collecting unique digital creations that are also known as NFTs or non fungible tokens. So, our founders at Maker's Place were all early employees at Pinterest. So, as many of you guys know, Pinterest is a creative hub for digital inspiration and creativity. However, a lot of the artists that were on Pinterest had been struggling and been victims of misattribution, their artworks being altered and changed in ways that they didn't grant permission to do or didn't want their artworks to be changed in that way. And just sometimes overall theft with people claiming that they created a work that they actually didn't. There was also a lack of financial incentive for these artists. There's no profit to be made of their digital art. They're essentially just kind of doing it because they enjoyed it and wanted to put it out in the world, which was fantastic. But to really be able to push digital creativity forward and ensure that it has a great future, it does feel necessary for there to be some type of financial incentive or support for people who are, really putting a lot of time and effort into these digital creations. So after our founders witnessed what was going on at Pinterest, they felt that there had to be a better way to empower artists and protect artists, digital artists specifically. So at Maker's Place, our company was born with the goal of enabling a vibrant future for digital creativity. So I know that many of you in this conference are aware of what an NFT or non-fungible token is, but I do want to give just a brief introduction or explanation of what it is as it pertains to digital art specifically. So, in the case of digital art, an NFT is a digital token that is inextricably tied to the artwork using blockchain and technology. So, there's the artwork itself, which you can view, and then there's the NFT, which contains the artwork and other important forms of information and details specifically regarding provenance or the artwork's origins, history, any transactions associated with the artworks, how many of the artworks exist. Is there only one original artwork, or say, is there an edition of 10? Where do all those editions live? Who owns them? How many times have they been purchased? NFTs also help to provide authenticity of the artwork by attaching the artist's digital signature, which is their wallet address, to the artwork in a permanent and unchangeable way. So this technology, it's really groundbreaking for art, especially in the sense that it has attached scarcity to something that previously has been ubiquitous. Therefore, it's created value for digital art for arguably the first time ever. So, as I said, Maker's Place, our goal is to support and empower digital creativity and digital creators. So, I'd like to, give a little bit of insight into how NFTs actually empower creators. First of all, NFTs have effectively provided legitimacy and support, financial recognition, and just overall recognition to those working within digital mediums. So, digital art is not something new. Digital art has been around for decades. We, spend so much time on our phones scrolling through digital content, which could arguably be considered as art as well. So, digital art is not something new. However, digital art, it was extremely difficult to place value on digital art, especially if it was existing only within the web and the internet and there was no type of physical placement of it, because of the reasons that I just previously mentioned. This really triggered a lot of digital creators to have to rely on professional agency work, and other forms of, working with brands or businesses on digital projects to support themselves financially. So this is completely fine and okay. However, the problem with this is that, artists weren't able to profit from their own creative ideas and endeavors. They were, had to rely on working with other companies or for other companies, and manifesting their visions, versus getting to work on their own creative visions. NFTs change that for artists. Very exciting. Another huge benefit of NFTs is that it's really opened the gates to allow all artists from around the world, from different parts of the globe, from different backgrounds, from different ages, different religions, gender, sexuality, race. It doesn't matter who you are. You can create art and profit and benefit and grow with the NFT movement. So there's no more gatekeeping. Another major benefit for artists who are participating in the NFT space is that for the first time ever, they can benefit from secondary sales of their artworks. In the physical space, this is nearly impossible. In the NFT digital art space, this is the norm. On MakersPlace, artists will receive a 10% royalty for any secondary sales, tertiary sales, and beyond. Anytime their work is sold, the artists themselves will benefit. This is a huge shift from what has been happening traditionally in the physical art world, mainly because it's just been impossible to really maintain. There's no way, once an artwork is sold in the physical world, it's very difficult to track and to see when it's sold again. Smart contracts on the blockchain help artists do this via NFTs. Overall, artists are going to benefit from increased profits. They're going to be expanding their audiences, and benefiting from a global collector community that is not dictated by geography. They're not going to have to pay 50% commission of their artworks from working with galleries. It is true that many platforms such as MakersPlace do take a commission cut. On MakersPlace, it's 15%, so it's less than half of what's traditional with galleries. And the reason why we take this cut is because of the work that we put in to marketing artists, to training artists, to connecting them with collectors and to the community. And so that is why, but as I said, that's less than half than what is traditional. Artists also benefit from having direct interaction and direct lines of communication and enhanced relationships with their collectors, fans, and artists. In the traditional art world, a lot of galleries and institutions wanted to prevent these relationships from happening. In the NFT space, we encourage it and we promote it, and it's a very natural and normal thing, which is exciting for both collectors and creators. So now on that note, I want to get into some of the benefits for NFT collectors. Why should people collect NFTs in the first place? So the one obvious reason is to have true digital ownership. As I was explaining earlier, in the past, it was extremely difficult, if not impossible, to establish ownership over any type of digital asset. That was mainly because there was no way um, of validating or guaranteeing authenticity, that that artwork was created by the artist that claims to have created it, as well as scarcity. There was no way of knowing how many copies of this artwork existed in the world, and whether the artwork that you were looking at or that you owned was a copy or one of the true originals published by the artist. This, with NFTs, we are able to now establish scarcity, we're able to establish provenance, we're able to establish authenticity, which allows for true digital ownership. In the space, we'll often hear this argument about the copy and paste argument, I like to call it. Why would I purchase something if I can simply copy and paste it and put it on my laptop screen, or print it out and put it on my wall? So for this argument, I always like to bring up the example of Mona Lisa. So Mona Lisa, one of the most prolific paintings there is in our history, has, you can technically go to visit the Mona Lisa, take a photo of the Mona Lisa, edit it on your computer, print it out, put it on your wall. And there you technically have something that looks more or less exactly the same of them as the original Mona Lisa. However, you don't really own the painting that Leonardo da Vinci created. So you can, take it a step further, and you can get an exact replica of the Mona Lisa on a canvas. You can have someone recreate it on a canvas using the exact paints that Leonardo da Vinci used. It's still not the Mona Lisa. You don't own the one original. So that, I think, helps as a way for understanding the value of ownership behind NFTs. NFTs are also really exciting because they've just introduced a completely new way to engage with art. Never before have we been able to have animated artworks in frames moving on our walls. We've never been able to have, AI generated artwork that is constantly evolving and dynamic and changing, and have that as artwork that we display on our walls. There's VR, there's AR, there's 3D. It's really the intersection between art and technology, and it's extremely exciting. That in itself is a benefit for, collectors and for creators. Something else, that a novel thing that NFTs are introducing, is the ability to attach experiences to artworks. There, you can attach unreleased songs to artworks. You can attach source codes to artworks. There's so much. The possibilities are kind of limitless at this point, and we're really just getting started. So it's going to be very exciting to see how that develops in the future. Another benefit for collectors of NFTs is that, the thrill of collecting is something that has really motivated humans for the dawn of time. Humans have always been collecting, right? However, as we as a society evolve into, trying to reduce the amount of stuff and, clutter and just things and waste, NFTs are perfect for, enabling us to continue to feel that thrill of collecting without having to add more stuff into our life. This fits especially well with, the current trend that we're seeing of many humans, or people in our society, moving towards lifestyles of being digital nomads. They don't call one place a home. People want to travel. More and more people are working from home and have the ability to live in different places. They don't want to lug around 10 artwork frames, but they want to keep their art that they love. So, a digital frame allows you to do that. And even better, your collection is here in your laptop, on your phone. You can access your collection from anywhere. Not only can you access your collection from anywhere, you can also share and display your collection to anyone in the world. This has also never been done before. So you for people to enjoy the works that you've collected, and for you to show the world what you're passionate about and what you have in your collection, you are no longer bound by the constraints of geography. And of course, if you would rather keep your NFT collection private to yourself and enjoy it in the comfort of your own home, that is always an option for you. And of course, we see people collecting and benefiting from collecting because they simply love art and they want to support it and they want to have it in their life. Last thing is art as an investment. So, we're really kind of at the tip of the iceberg as NFTs as a whole, but specifically for digital art NFTs as investments that accrue value over time. So here we have an example of Death, which is a digital comic book that was created by Jose Delbo. Jose Delbo was a Silver Age and Bronze Age comic artist who is best known for his work on Wonder Woman. So Jose Delbo joined the NFT scene last year in July, and he was in his 80s actually, and it was completely new to him. He had been working in physical comic art spaces, and those spaces, it can be very difficult for artists to make a living and to benefit. So he joined the space and was selling this 46 plus page digital comic that only owners have access to, so it's unlockable content. He was selling them originally for around $40 to $75 at the time. Just a few days ago, he actually resold one of the artworks on the secondary sales market for 1.1 ETH, which was at the time $3,407.56. So that's almost a 5,000% increase in value in US dollars in a little over than a year. Pretty impressive. And as I said, this is really just the beginning. The secondary sales market, I believe, has not been completely activated and has reached its full potential. So there's even more potential for growth in the upcoming years of NFTs as we see more mass adoption. And last but certainly not least, collectors benefit from purchasing NFTs because they're supporting creativity and engaging in the next major art movement. I mean, years from now, NFTs and what we have done in the digital art space and, shaken up the traditional art world, this is going to be in history books. Wouldn't you want to be a part of that? I think it's extremely exciting for people, and I think extremely inspiring for people. And it's really only the beginning. So collectors have the chance to join this movement now and potentially be one of the early adopters in the space. Thank you all so much and have a wonderful rest of your week. Take care.